No, unborn, extend further and further. But we consider all in this world. We extend our loving kindness towards all the existing living beings on this earth. And the Buddha's compassion is not limited towards only the small globe. Numerous, endless world system exists in this universe. So he has extended this Mahakaruna or compassion towards any kinds of living being that which exists in any part of the universe. Others had no knowledge to understand that there are living beings in many other parts of the universe. Then there are certain excuses for others. Now, for your self-defense, you can kill others according to certain religion. But Buddhism never gives this concept. You do that. That is your intrinsic feeling. For my protection, I must kill. This is our normal way of thinking. The Buddha's way of thinking is not like ours. Under any circumstances, either for our self-protection, or to protect our religion, or to protect the Buddha, or Buddhism, if we kill, so killing is killing, destroying their life. Now you can see the difference of the Buddha's compassion. So there is nobody in this universe we can compare with the Buddha's Mahakaruna. So two great qualities, Mahakaruna, Mahaprajna, Panya. Great wisdom and great compassion. These two are the special features, characteristics in the Buddha, which we cannot find in any other teachers in this. So, attainment of first stage of sainthood. By developing our meditation, by performing meritorious deeds, by leading a religious life without harming others, very noble, righteous, respectable, harmless life. But we must understand, although we have cultivated these qualities, there is no guarantee whatsoever that we never change our mind. Now this is the uncertainty of that mind. Under certain circumstances, we can surrender all the great qualities that we have developed. Then what will happen? The hidden craving, selfishness, desire, hatred, jealousy, again flare. When these things flare up, no controlling power in that mind. This is the danger. Take another example. Now within this life, you are religious. You have done a lot of meritorious deeds. You did not harm anybody. Therefore you can think that you have fulfilled your duties to be religious. But you have not completed. Assume you could manage to maintain your life until you die. But what guarantee is there in the next birth that you can continue the same system, same way of life? So there, the circumstances, environment can change your mind. A simple example. In the case of the Buddha, you know very well. one who started this religious way of life, moral development, mental training, spiritual development, life after life. So under certain circumstances, change his mind. He has done a lot of mistakes. See? This is the uncertainty of the mind. Because the roots of the evil defilement in our minds are not uprooted. Since he has cultivated more virtues, more morals, and more mental training, very easily he can come back the same line. But in our case, there is no such hope until we develop very strong conviction, determination, training in our mind. When selfish ideas appear in our mind, we can forget everything. We can forget religion, friendship, relationship, everything we can forget. This is the nature of the mind. So, until we attain the first stage of sainthood, whatever meritorious deeds we have accrued, or religious way of life that we have lived, still there is no guarantee. Changes again and again take place. But after attaining the first stage of sainthood, Sotapanna, there is guarantee. Only at that time can issue the certificate. Guarantee certificate. That is why it is called Sotapanna, got into that stream, that path, leading towards Nirvana. Never come back. Then, after attaining this first stage of sainthood, we can develop this confidence in our mind. What is that? It is impossible to become an animal again. Never go back to animal life, or ghost, or devils, or any kind of unfortunate living beings, or hell. Impossible. Then, never go back to worldly life again. Just now that stanza. That person has not attained the first stage of sainthood yet. If he has attained, he never goes back to worldly life again. Because that is one-way traffic. Then, rebirth can take place few times. Maximum 7 times. Here in this stanza or later I think, Nate bhavang attamang adiyanti. No 8th birth. 8th time. After 7th birth, no more rebirth. Stop. Earlier they can do after attaining the other stages. So rebirth can take only 7 times, not more than that. The reason is that person has reduced so many defilements from that mind which can create, prolong our existence in this samsara. Not enough mental energies in that mind, polluted mental energy in that mind to carry on this way of life for a longer period. Life after life, more than 7 times. Then what are the most important qualities for a person to attain first stage of Sotapanna? I told you, simply by performing meritorious deeds, no one can attain first stage of Sotapanna. there are three burdens, fetters, defilements, hindrances in our mind. Unless we unload completely, eradicate these three, whatever other meritorious deed that we perform or meditate or this or that cannot enter into the first stage of sainthood. Then what are those three? Sakkaya Ditti, Vicikicca, Silabbata Parama. Only these three. First one is the most difficult. Very difficult. This is very strong in the man's mind. Very deep rooted. The belief that we maintain that there is something. Many people have given different names. There is something, permanent entity, that which remain forever as eternal, as long as we maintain that belief, that person cannot enter into the first stage of sainthood. Because it is a wrong belief that we develop to satisfy our craving. We think, how nice, if we can remain somewhere without facing death, old age, sicknesses. That is how other religion is introduced, their religion. Because they know people need this. Whether it is true or not is a different issue. The Buddha did not want to console people to increase their craving. He has revealed the facts, that's all. If you cannot appreciate, it is up to you. So that belief. Another one is, another aspect of the same is the strong belief that we maintain I, concept of I, mine. Because of this, we create enormous mistakes and troubles and problems in this world. Unhappiness. Claim. Then work for the name. To many people, name is more important. They can spend millions of dollars to gain name and fame and publicity, popularize. This is called egoism. That is the first thing we have to eradicate. Otherwise, no salvation. You can pray, you can worship, you can recite, you can meditate, you can do a lot of merits, but still far behind. Next one, Vicikicca, a skeptical doubt. Not ordinary doubt that we have about the world and the universe and nature and phenomena. No, these things have nothing to do with this. A skeptical doubt. What is the difference between ordinary doubt and skeptical doubt? The Buddha has encouraged us to doubt. He says, if you don't doubt, accept at once through your faith and devotion, you never realize the truth. When you doubt at the beginning, then you give a chance to that mind to think, to analyze, investigate. After that you can understand what it is. So skeptical doubt means certain concept, certain belief that we maintain in our mind. Saying, oh, I don't believe that, all rubbish. This is called skeptical doubt. Take for instance, people say after our death there will be another life, all rubbish, who believe, who knows, this kind of thing. Others may give more than enough reason, but they are not ready to reason out. Again, good begets good, bad begets bad. Bad karma produce bad result, good karma produce good result. They say all rubbish, who knows? We must have freedom to do anything whatever we like. We can understand what is right, what is wrong. We don't want to get orders from others. This kind of skeptical doubt. Then we say the Buddha is an enlightened religious teacher who has shown the correct path for us to get rid of all our worries and miseries and sufferings and problems and everything. Then, how can we believe? Who knows? This is more than enough for you to understand the nature of a skeptical doubt. Because they never change their idea. But in your case, at the beginning you can develop this doubt. Then investigate, learn, discuss. Later we get the answer. That doubt disappears. So as long as this kind of doubt remains in that mind, that person never get the chance to attain the first stage of sin. Last one, Silabbata Paramasa. Sila Vata Paramasa. This method was there so many thousands of years, even before all these religions come into existence. Performance of various rites and rituals and ceremonies. Again, by torturing their physical body, thinking that they can get rid of the evil deeds or bad karmas or sins that they have committed earlier, perform certain rites and rituals. That belief. Another belief, simply by performing these rites and rituals, burning, poking, cutting, offerings and doing all sort of rites, rituals, people believe that this is enough for them to find out their final salvation, either to go to heaven or paradise or nirvana. They can see the end of their suffering in this world through these performances. This belief was very, very strong in India at that time. So the Buddha has pointed out, this is another hindrance in our mind. Then people have created some sort of misconception or wrong interpretation regarding this rite and ritual. they ask. Here the Buddha says we should not cling to these rites and rituals. Yes. And what are those rites and rituals? We perform many kinds of religious rites, rituals. When we perform these rites and rituals, we do not create such belief in our mind. By doing this, we can wash away the sins committed by us. Therefore, this will never become under the rite and ritual. Again, when we perform certain religious rites and rituals, we never think simply by performing all these things we can attain nirvana. So we are free from that concept. Then what are the rites and rituals that we perform? These are very respectable, cultural, meaningful practices, not mere rites and rituals. The offering of flowers, lightning means lighting, oil lamps or candles or illuminating places of worship. Even just sticks, incense also gives. But unfortunately, Chinese devotees have gone to extremes. They think the smoke can go up and reach somewhere. They may get some sort of blessing. This belief still they maintain, but take time for them to understand this. Then recitals, chanting, all these are under rite and ritual, but meaningful, respectable, and we can divert our mind towards meditation through these practices if we act mindfully and wisely. Therefore, don't regard all these practices as rites and rituals. Now, these are the three. So, if we can get rid of these three hindrances, then first stage of sainthood. One group, whether they are monks or laymen, no difference. There were many laymen who have attained this first stage of sainthood. And the Buddha's father was one of them. One after the other he has attained. Then the next one is called Sakadaga, meaning once returned. That means rebirth can take place only once. After death, only once, either as human being or devas or Brahma. But never either as animals or any other unfortunately. Then what are the qualities for this? Only two things we have to reduce there. And these two things are so strong in our mind, it is impossible for us to eradicate completely. But we can subdue. Kamaraga, Patika. Kamaraga means the craving that we have developed in our mind for pleasure. Very, very strong. To indulge our senses, to please our mind in worldly way, especially sexual pleasure. So these are very, very strong forces in our mind. So impossible for us to eradicate, even attain the first stage of sainthood, still remains. To attain the second stage of sainthood also we cannot completely wipe out, eradicate, by keeping them under control, without allowing these forces to disturb the purity of the mind. Then get the chance to attain the second stage. The other one is patigha. Patigha means ill will. This is also very strong. It is not ordinary anger. Anger is emotional. We can use that anger for good purposes also, to train others, to teach others, to guide others by showing our anger. The motive is good. It is not hatred or ill will. Especially parents show this anger to their children. The idea is to train them, not to harm them. But it is not ill will. And this ill will we keep as grudge, enmity, hatred in our mind. Then going on polluting our mind. To attain the second stage of sainthood, we have to reduce these two. Crazy attitude toward pleasure and ill will. Then second stage. So why it is called Sakadagami? Rebirth can take only one, either as human beings or Deva, and from there onward develop the rest and attain Nirvana. Then the third one, Anagami. Anagami means never return, never come back to mundane world. Rebirth never take place in any forms of mundane life, such as human beings or devas and many kinds of brahmas. All belong to mundane world system. Higher than that, amongst those 16 kinds of Brahma world or realm, there are 5 called Suddhavasa, Suddha Avasa, pure abode. That means those who are born in one of these, according to their mental development and purity, experience more peace, calmness, tranquility in their mind. And they have eradicated many things and subdued many things as mental hindrances. Since that person has not attained Arahanta, so after his death, so rebirth takes place only in that Suddhava, the pure abode, Brahma. Spend there for a longer period, very happy, peaceful life without any disturbances. Then develop the rest and attain Arahanta. That's why I call never return. And I strongly believe that the concept that Mahayana school of Buddhism introduced, Sukhavati, pure land, or the Buddha land, by depending on this interpretation. Because ordinary people could not understand when we explain in this way. So they have interpreted in such a way to create some sort of temptation in the man's mind and understand easily. So when you pray, when you worship, and when you lead a religious life, you will be born in that pure land, Sukhavati. After that, never come back to this world again. From there, you attain Nirvana. They have developed this concept in Mahayana school. Not only that, they also developed this concept. Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas are there, waiting. At any time they can attain Nirvana, but they don't want to do that. They have compassion towards all the others. Until all these living beings attain Nirvana, they remain. Then they develop further confidence. They think, oh, Buddhas are there, oh, Bodhisattvas are there. Then they develop. So that devotional aspect spread in this part of the world. In fact, today, Buddhism remains as a world religion because of this concept. Otherwise they might have forgotten. Because they cannot understand the deep aspect of this interpretation. China, Japan, Korea, Mongolia, Tibet, Siberia, in all those countries, they accepted this. This is the very strong concept. The whole Buddhism actually based on this concept today. Started from this interpretation, that pure abode, Brahma world. It is not Buddha land. Buddha has no land. He has renounced everything. So, this is the third stage. Then the last one, Arahant. That is the final. To attain this final goal, we had to eradicate 5 more. You see, these things are so strong in our mind. We carry up to the last step. So we have entered into the door. We are at the door of Nirvana. We carry all these things up to the doorstep of Nirvana. What are those 5? Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Uddhacca, Avidya. Very easily, people tell others and writes in their books and preach. Don't worry, you go and pray to that Buddha or this Bodhisattva. After that you will be in Nirvana. Very easy. This small child also can understand that. But look at the way systematically the Buddha has introduced this path to Nibbana, method to gain Nirvana, not by praying to anybody. This is the thing that we have to do. Ruparaga, Aruparaga. The attachment that we have developed in our body to have some sort of form, that means physical appearance, either as human beings or devas or brahmas. That is called Rupa Raga. Because we like it. We like to have very beautiful features, complexion, pretty, handsome, luminous. But one day we have to get rid of this belief, because when we analyze, it is impermanent. There is no such thing, an everlasting personality or whatever, formation. Formation takes place due to combinations of many things. When those factors dissolve, disintegrate, there is nothing to remain as personality, the form or the body or rupa. That realization is the first quality. Then the second misconception is arupa raga. Arupa means no form, no physical body. So many people maintain this belief. How nice. If we can remain somewhere without having this kind of physical body, having seen the burdens and responsibilities and difficulties to maintain this physical body, some people believe that they must have some sort of life without a physical body. And those who believe that after our death, our spirit, our soul reach paradise or heaven, remains there as everlasting, permanent. We develop that craving. We like this kind of life, but no physical body. On the Buddhist concept, it is imagination, because it is impossible to remain such thing. We create such belief in our mind to console our craving. Formless life, eternal life. Now this is the second one. Third one is mana. Such a minor mental factors, energy in our mind, that we maintain up to the last stage. Our pride, very strong. Conceit or pride or whatever it is. So we have various reasons to maintain this pride. Just now I told you, the Buddha's relatives, Sakya, they had strong pride in their mind. They are the warriors, they are the rulers, they are the kings and the ministers and the ruling class. Pride. Each and every community, race, maintain some sort of prestige or pride. But they have their own reason, measuring in worldly sense. Let us take Chinese. They have biggest nation on this earth, country, civilized, oldest, ancient civilization. These are the things. One of these things they take into the mind and develop this pride. because of this we create a lot of problems. Let us take Indians. They say, all those philosophers, religious teachers, wise people, rishis, yogis, meditation masters produce our country. India produced all this. The Buddha also produced by us. They also maintain this prestige. But they won't get anything by developing that pride. European, they also maintain. Because long ago, they were the masters here in this part of the world. They ruled. Not only that, they say we have civilized many parts of the world. Many people who were living as barbarians, we have civilized them. And we have discovered various science and technology and many things which people could not understand. They developed this pride. And those who have discovered atomic energy, America and Russia, maintain this. Even the small community also maintained according to their position. Then color. White color, yellow color, dark color. They develop certain perspectives. So we are white, they are black. White people say they are yellow, we are white. Yellow people say the others are black. But never think all are human beings. Inside the mind, same ingredient. Those ingredients are neither black nor white. In the blood also, no difference, same color. So this pride we carry up to that last stage. Then only drop by realizing this is dangerous. Third one. Uddhacha, fourth one. Uddhacha means restlessness in our mind. But we do not know why. We have everything. There is nothing for us to grumble. We have more than enough things. But still, some sort of disturbances, restlessness, we experience in our mind. But we cannot analyze and tell others why. Certain hidden mental forces disturb our mind. That we have developed life after life for a longer period. Hidden not. Now we have purified our mind up to that stage. But still there are some disturbances in the mind. Now we have no craving. We have no anger or hatred. But still there is something hidden there. Not eradicated our ignorance completely. That ignorance, in that ignorance, you can find some dark corners. So, restlessness in the mind. By realizing the real nature of mind and matters, the futility or the fleeting nature, the uncertainty of all these things, then the disturbances are calmed down. Then complete calmness appears in that mind. That is the fourth one. last one is avidya. We interpret this as ignorance. And this ignorance is not ordinary ignorance that we maintain. We are ignorant about many things. We are ignorant about the world, the universe, galaxies, energies, elements, phenomena, natural occurrences. We are ignorant. We don't know why these things work like this, exist like this, disappear like this, change like this, not this kind of thing. Here the real meaning of ignorance is this. Why do we exist? Our imagination is not correct. Why are we not happy with our life? Why there is no satisfactoriness in anything? We satisfy for a short period, again create unsatisfactory. What is the cause? Then how to get rid of all these disturbances which we don't like? We are ignorant, complete ignorance. This is the ignorance that we preach in Buddhism. All are ignorance. And that ignorance also disappears because the forces which nurture this ignorance in that mind are no more. So the ignorance cannot develop now. Now the mind is completely perfect. That is called perfection. Then Arahant. That is the last. So in that mind, no evil forces, no defilement, no craving, no attachment, no anger, no ignorance. Can you imagine what sort of living being is that? That is the final goal. Then experience Nibbana. This is the aim of Buddhism. This is one method. This is the easiest method. Then the second method is becoming a Pacceka Buddha. But those 10 fetters that we have eradicated to attain that sainthood is not enough to become a Pacceka Buddha. Analytical interpretation, understanding of the Four Noble Truths. Buddha means realizations of Four Noble Truths, then enlightenment. Others cannot realize. We can talk, we can write, we can think, but realization is not there. So when they realized the real nature of Four Noble Truths, they attained that Pacceka Buddha. Then Samma Sambuddha is further development. Just now I have done few to show the difference between Arahanta, Pacceka Buddha and Samma Sambuddha. So in that enlightenment, there are so many other factors which the Buddha can use to serve others, not for his own benefit. That is what here in this stanza. Now you can see now why we recite like this. By explaining all these, all the qualities, virtues, knowledge, wisdom, in the end we say, so by the virtues of all these qualities, may you be well and happy. Yesu prayutta manasa dalhena Kamino Gotama Sasanam hi
Te patti patta amratang vigaiha idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena satchena suvarti hotu. There were 6 well-known languages in northern India at that time. Sanskrit, Prakrit, Magadhi, Sauraseni, Apabhransa, Vaisachi. These are the languages. So this is called Magadhi. At that time, this language was known as Magadhi. That means Magadha is the province, name of the province, the people who used this language. The Buddha has studied various other languages, Sanskrit and some other languages also. But this is a colloquial, that means the local dialect. So Magadhi was the local dialect in Magadha province. The most of his time the Buddha has spent in that part of India. So that is why purposely he has selected this dialect or this language to preach. People can understand easily. Sanskrit, the language used by Brahmins, it's a very difficult language. Ordinary people cannot understand. And mostly used by Hindu Brahmins to perform their Hindu religious rites. Literature also written in that language. So today we introduce this language as Pali, not Magadhi, same language. The reason is 500 years after the Buddha, the disciples who have written down the teachings of the Buddha and categorize into various groups according to the subject matters, sutras, stanzas. Then the language also they have modified or refined, because at that time they did not use a grammar. In Sanskrit also they did not use the grammar. So grammatically reintroduced or refined this Magadhi language. After that they introduced this as Pali. Because there are some people who say the Buddha did not speak Pali. They mislead people. So at that time the language was known as Magadhi, but today we use the word Pali for the same language. So it is clear. Then you can ask another question. Why should we use a language which we cannot understand? Is it necessary or is it compulsory? There are various ways for us to answer this. When we use another language to introduce the Buddha's teaching, we can make a lot of misinterpret by using our own words or terms according to our understanding. When we preserve the basic language, the original language, we can understand the word used by the Buddha, because it is very difficult for us to translate one language into another language without distorting. Take for instance, when Buddhism was introduced to China, nearly 600 years after the Buddha, or 2000 years ago. They had lot of problems because Chinese language and Pali or Sanskrit have no connection. Entirely two different languages. And pronunciation is very difficult for Chinese to pronounce Pali and Sanskrit words. There are many members who associated with me for the last 35 years, but still they cannot pronounce my name.